What is up, Cowboy Nation? Welcome back to Established Pass. I'm Charlie, as y'all know. Follow me all the places underneath. I ain't going through all that shit tonight. This first time I've been live in probably 2 years. I think I went live a couple months ago, but that was out of laziness because I didn't feel like recording, downloading, uploading, all that shit. Anyways, today we have Marcus D. Jones from hashtag DC for Life. Excuse me, the Fourth Quarter podcast. Go check that out. Sub to him. Marcus, go ahead and tell him where to follow you at, buddy.
All right, guys. You can find me, Bluff City Cowboys, on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Go live every Wednesday night, 8:30 Central Standard Time. Find me on my Bluff City Cowboys page or on the DC4L Facebook and YouTube channels.
Anyway, sorry we was a little late tonight. I had some laptop problems and some Wi-Fi problems. Ended up having to switch my laptops to Rocky's laptop, and that's why I'm wearing this fucking Janet Jackson shit. But anyways, we was able to get everything fixed and get going. So anyways, now Google, we'll discuss a few topics. We'll discuss the 53-man roster breakdown and CD's contract a little bit, and I didn't add it on the thumbnail and I didn't add it on the title, but we'll discuss Dak and some of the stuff that was said today that people are highly overreacting to, and people need to stop trying to fucking decipher what Jerry Jones says. He says a whole lot without saying anything.
Yeah.
And that I stopped trying to figure out what he means anyway, so a long time ago. But anyways, we'll start with the 53-man roster. What did you think about the 53-man roster there, Big Marcus?
It was a lot of surprises on there. I'll start off on offense first. Shocked to see Deuce Vaughn make the roster. I was surprised that Matt Waletzko's getting another year. I didn't expect Hendershot to be on the roster, so that wasn't a surprise. Let me think. Any other spots? Oh, Ryan Flournoy. I assume he looked good in practice and he looked decent in the games, but I was just shocked to see them use a sixth roster spot for a wide receiver that we'll probably never have active. Same thing for Deuce Vaughn. He'll never be active. So he doesn't play special teams. He's not going to get any carries in any meaningful games. He is not really a fit for the scheme. I mean, he looks good. He looked good this preseason, but he looked good last preseason. Actually, last preseason, he looked better and didn't lead to anything offensively. So offensive side of the ball, Flournoy, Waletzko, Deuce Vaughn were kind of the shockers for me. What about you, Charlie? What on offense kind of threw you off?
The Waletzko definitely threw me off. I've never been a big fan of Ball, but he actually looked pretty good this preseason and through camp and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was surprised they took a chance on dropping him and keeping Waletzko. Other than that, there wasn't really too many surprises. Flournoy, I guess maybe a little bit, but he kind of came on there at the end, so it didn't shock me too much. And
I'm not shocked that he made the roster. I'm just shocked they kept six receivers because the five.
That's what I meant. I wasn't shocked that he made it over anybody. I mean, I figured if they was going to keep six, he would be the sixth.
Yeah.
I was just surprised they went with six. But yeah, really, Waletzko was the only one that really bothered me. Other than that, it was kind of like pretty much chalk. I kind of knew exactly. Excuse me. I kind of knew how it was going to go. But yeah, that one was kind of weird.
And to me, Waletzko
looked
bad.
Fucking awful. I mean, he looked bad during preseason.
Very bad.
He hasn't really looked good since we drafted him.
Yeah. I know he dealt with the shoulder injuries for 2 straight years, and I see the views are starting to pick up now. So if you're watching, get in the comments and let us know who you are, where you're watching from. Help out the algorithm. Hit the like button also. But yeah, Waletzko, 2 shoulder injuries 2 years in a row. This the first year he was healthy. I'm assuming maybe they want to see what they got with a fully healthy Waletzko.
Maybe.
But preseason was not a good indication of what we can expect. So to me, that's another guy who will probably be inactive all season that we wasted a roster spot on, because if Udoga's healthy, we're not carrying 3 tackles into a game, because Udoga's the backup, and then you got Awesome Richards, who can also play some tackle. So you don't really need Waletzko, especially not considering that he's playing right tackle. You don't need a right tackle as a 10th guy. If he was a left tackle, I could see it, but they're playing him at right, and Richards is actually playing left.
Right.
So with that spot, not really high on our running back. I would rather have seen them take a chance on a young, explosive, normal-sized running back than use that spot on Waletzko.
Yeah, but as far as Deuce goes, you don't think he's going to play special team? You don't think he's going to be on kickoff? Because they're going to put 2 people back there. There's going to be 2. It's going to be on the new kickoffs. They're going to force him to kick him to either him or Turp.
So what? And I could be wrong on this, but I'm thinking with these new kickoff rules, they're gonna make Turpin get it wherever it goes, and that second guy back there is gonna be a blocker. So I wouldn't be shocked to see like a Jalen Brooks or even a Hunter Lepke as the second returner, even though he's really more just like a lead blocker.
Yeah, I can't remember who I was talking to. Who I was listening to the other day on 105.3. I think it might have been Mickey Spags. Mm-hmm. He was talking about Turp. It was going to be Turp and Deuce would probably end up making the 53 because he's probably going to be one of the returners.
Okay.
On kickoffs. So I don't know. That's the only reason. If they don't use him for that, then I agree. I don't really know, because he's not going to get on the field as far as the running back goes.
No, he can't block. He can't tackle.
Where the carry's going to be.
Right. He can't block. He can't tackle. We only need 1 punt returner. But to me, that's a wasted spot for just a guy who's going to be on kickoff return as the second option.
Yeah. No. I mean, I think keeping 4 tight ends and 4 running backs and I think fullback. I think if a fullback can't be your third running back, I don't think he should make the team.
Yeah,
I've always been that way. If you're going to keep a fullback, that's fine. And in 2024, if you still want a fullback on your team, great. If you still want to do that shit that we did, 20, 30 years ago, that's fine. But that motherfucker needs to be the third running back. He needs to be able to be your third running back.
Now,
everybody's talking about Matt McCarthy always kept a fullback. Well, Khan was the third running back. In fact, there was a year he was the leading running back for the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, he was a fullback, but he had the most carries. So that guy was your third running back, sometimes second running back. So I don't have a problem with that. I just have a problem when you keep a fourth running back and he's a fullback. I don't like that.
Yeah. Now, in Lepke's defense, he was our leading special teams tackler last year, and I watch special teams quite a bit. When I look at Lepke on and I see we got Eric joining us. Thank you, Eric. I'm sure Charlie's seen the link if you want to hop in with us. But when I looked at the special teams in preseason, Lepke had 4 tackles in 3 games, which for a kickoff guy, that's a lot in a 3-game span. And I think he also may be the personal protector. And if he's the personal protector, he's definitely going to earn this spot, because personal protector may be the second most important non-kicking position behind the gunner.
Right.
So I think that's where Lepke hangs his hat on special teams.
Yeah, Raka's outside and it's making my fucking dogs go the fuck off. So can you come back in?
They're not that loud, Charlie. I see the views are still going up. So if you're watching right now, be sure to get in the comments and let us know who you are, where you're watching from, got any questions, any comments about what we're talking about. The views just hit 10. We got 2 people who have commented. So the other 8 people, go ahead and hop in. Let us know where you're watching from. Yeah, Rika, Charlie already told on you.
Yeah, it's annoying as fuck.
All right.
But yeah, no, yeah. But other than that, there was no surprises for me. That was, like I said, I don't. Let's go. Like I said, I made a tweet about it, or post, whatever they call it now. Right after that one, cutting. My mind's going blank. The safety. We went to Tennessee.
Oh, Wood, Julius Wood.
Wood, yeah. But that's one of them things where one of the ones I like to keep.
Yeah.
And I like to see him stay with us and get on practice squad and develop. But the main one that bothered me, and it bothers you too, I know, is Rodgers.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing about it is nobody picked him up. He chose to leave the Cowboys.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, he had the chance to come back on our practice squad, but I don't blame him. Because he's probably looking in the film thinking, I'm better than Motsy. I've done better than him all fucking year, and I'm never going to get above him because he's a fucking first-round pick.
Yeah. And then they brought in another.
And then plus they signed 2 other, 30-plus-year-old guys. He was going to be on a practice. I guess he's looking at Cincinnati, think he has a better chance of maybe getting some playing time on a 53 at some parts of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he chose the Bengals over the Cowboys because he could have came back to us because nobody picked him up on the waivers.
Right. He volunteered to go on their practice squad.
Yep.
I'm just pulling up the Bengals. BJ Hill.
Yeah, I looked at it the other day, and I don't know enough about him, but just my first glance, I'm like, he has a better shot there. Mainly because Motsy, mainly because they're not fucking doing anything with him. He's going to be on the fucking 48 every week. He's going to be there.
Has to be. Justify the pick.
So I mean, when you're a late round pick and you got a first round pick ahead of you, it really doesn't matter how good that first round pick's playing. They're going to give him every opportunity.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, man. When it comes to Mossy, it makes no fucking sense to me. Everybody fucking blamed the coaching staff last year for making him drop to 300, 290, whatever the fuck he dropped to. But are we blaming this coaching staff now for keeping him at 310 to 315? Or is this Motsy thing? Is this something that he wants to do? He wants to stay between this weight. Because 310 and 315, I'm sorry, that's not a fucking one tech. That is a 3 tech. That's the size of a 3 tech. I don't give a fuck how strong that motherfucker is. He one techs are a big, everybody, all Cowboy fans, all I hear about. We need some big, fat, and I'm not being rude, I'm fat, so I can say that. Big,
I'm fat too.
Tech, strong, but that's not what he is anymore. And I don't give a shit how strong he is. If you give an offensive lineman a choice between facing a guy that's 310 with no pass rush skills, really don't have no pass rush skills, or a 340 guy that doesn't have no pass rush skills. The only thing you got to do is worry about his run stopping. They're picking a 310 guy every time. It's easier to push a 310 guy than it is a 340 guy, even if they both bench 500 pounds. I mean, it doesn't matter. That's just how it is. And I don't understand why he's playing at that weight. I don't understand. I don't get it. I hated the fucking pick. I could not stand the pick because I don't.
Nobody liked it.
Yeah, I don't like picking one techs in the first round like that with no pass rushing abilities. I don't. There's some Villa that I was all for him because he came out, he could rush the passer. He went to Tampa, he wasn't a liability on third downs. He played like 60% of the snaps, and that's unusual for one tex, and that's because he could stay on the field on passing downs. So them guys I don't mind, but if it's just that true nose tackle run stuff, and find that like you find Rodgers, find him in the 6th, 7th round. Or Bo a few years ago when all Cowboy fans fell in love with him for some reason. But so I get that, but not. But now he's not even that. After the pick, I'm like, well, fuck. At least he can stop the run. At least he has that ability.
Right.
He can play that and help us with that. And then now he's not even that, and he just gets pushed off the line of scrimmage. And dude, I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes he don't look like he cares. His effort sometimes. I just watching him. It's like he's not even fucking trying. It's like he's just giving half-ass effort. I don't know if he's giving half-ass effort or he's just his technique's so bad they just lock him in and just hold him to where he can't do nothing. I don't know which one it is, but he's not fucking impressive at all.
And he's still the last one off the ball.
Oh yeah, he's slow as fuck, and that's weird that he can't get that together.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. That's something that watch the ball. It's one to me. It's easy. Just watch the ball. The ball snap, fucking go.
Right.
I mean, and it's not like he ain't athletic. It ain't like he ain't quick.
Right.
I mean, all his free cones and all this combine shows his athleticism's off the charts for a guy his size.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even when he was 340, he's probably only had 15% body fat. So the guy's a freak. I think it's all mental. Like when people were saying the whole thing about the coaching staff making him lose weight, I don't believe that, honestly. I think I don't want to say this. Never mind. But I think it was mental. I think he crumbled under the pressure of the bright lights of the star and being a first round pick, and he I'll say it. I think at some point he probably had a nervous breakdown because I've known a couple of people personally who dropped 40, 50 pounds in 2 months that had nervous breakdowns. And when I saw that with him, I thought the exact same thing.
Oh yeah, depression and anxiety and shit. It can make you do one, two things: get fat as fuck, or get skinny as fuck.
Yep.
Like with divorces. Like when I went through my first one, I gained the shit out of some weight. My best friend went through it. That motherfucker lost weight, and I'm like, man, I wish I was the lose weight divorce person, not the gain weight, because I gained the shit out of stuff. But yeah, no, yeah, that I didn't. You know what? I didn't even think about that. That's something that I never really thought about. Because the story is bright here. I mean, it is different. I mean, even whatchamacallit, or tied in when he went to Houston, Heeman said it was different. You ain't got people watching you work out.
Dalton Schultz.
It's different in Dallas. I mean, we got an owner that fucking wants that. I mean, he wants that attention. He wants all eyes on us. So you have to be able to fucking handle that.
So
what do you think about Trey Lance? Since we're talking about 53.
I don't normally like to talk about quarterbacks because I know how the discussion will go. And the views are still going up and nobody's commenting. Somebody get in these comments and let us know that you're there. Just talking about him preseason. The first game, people were just going crazy over, I guess, how athletic he looks. You can find any Division II quarterback who can do what he does. They can go out there and run for 40 yards and throw 5 picks.
Dude, you can go to a flag football game. You can go to a flag football game, like an upper level flag, not the fucking shit I play in my rec leagues, but fucking flag football, and you will find you got athletes.
Yeah,
it's like basketball. You go to New York City on their courts, and you got some motherfuckers who can just play. Doesn't mean they can play in the NBA. It's a whole different thing. Like I had a friend when I was 17 years old, throw the ball 60 yards without a fucking problem. Throw it on a dart. Motherfucker wasn't ever going. He was 5'10", weighed $175. He wasn't ever going to the pros or even college. Hell, he didn't even play high school ball, but he had a fucking good arm and he could hit targets and shit. So yeah. I mean, he's athletic. He can run. I mean that. Pocket breaks down and he can't read his first read, and to me, his pre-snap recognition, his post-snap recognition, his decision making, they're all three absolutely fucking horrible.
And also his footwork, because every ball he throws is high and hard. The biggest problem I have with Cowboys fans, and Shane, I see your question. We'll get to it in a minute. When I look at Trey Lance and you hear the fan base saying, "Oh, he's only started 8 games. Quarterbacks need reps." The guy's been in the league for 3 years. He's played under arguably the best offensive mind, top 3 at worst, that the league has to offer in Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan handpicked the guy to be his guy. He was there for 2 years and still did not progress or become a better quarterback to a point where a guy that they pulled out of the 7th round beat him out. To me, that's an indicator of what type of guy he is. You don't have to play in a game as a quarterback to get better. You practice every day against these guys. You're put in 7-on-7 situations. The errors that he's making are errors that you should work out in camp. Now, if the problem was mechanics, okay, let's go work on that. But he's messing up, like you said, pre-reads, accuracy. That stuff you work out in practice. You don't work that out in a game. That's just who he is. That's not saying he's a bad quarterback. He's a number 3 quarterback in the NFL. He's a 3rd string quarterback. He'll probably never be anything more than that. And I hope fans don't continue to think that if he were to magically become the starter for the Cowboys, he would be a 10th as good as Dak Prescott, because he wouldn't.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. Everything you said, I made posts about it on Twitter. It's like everybody's grading him like on a rookie scale.
Right.
Like he just came in NFL. Well, he and they keep mentioning, well, he didn't play much in college. Well, motherfuckers, I don't give a shit what he did in college. That was 4 fucking years ago.
Exactly.
You know, he's been in NFL now. This is his 4th year. He's had hundreds of thousands of practice reps. I mean, thousands. He's played in NFL preseason games. He's played in NFL regular season games. He's watched thousands of hours of film. He's been in a film room with NFL coaches, with other NFL quarterbacks, with NFL players, watching NFL film. I mean, he had he was in the most quarterback friendliest system that there is in football. Andy Reid could argue with that one too.
Right.
But Shanahan runs a very quarterback friendly system. And after 2 years, they gave up on him.
Yeah.
They gave up multiple picks to get him, multiple picks. And after 2 years, they're like, fuck it. We'll take a 4th for him. And fuck, we're the only one that would have given him a 4th.
I agree.
You know, other than that, they wouldn't even got a 4th for him. So, I mean, we got to stop grading him on a rookie like he's a rookie. He's not a rookie. This is his 4th year in the NFL. You know, I understand he hasn't played a lot of games. I get that. And I understand the college part of it, which is why I never understood why San Francisco drafted him, much less gave up what they gave to move up. I thought that was a horrible pick at the time. There's no way I would have been cool with the Cowboys doing that. But yeah, I mean, and even in college, I mean, he played at North Dakota State. Don't get me wrong, they're a powerhouse in their little division.
Yeah.
But that's not the SEC. His competition wasn't even the Big 12 or ACC competition.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then even in high school, I think he only started his senior year. So, I mean, so they're right. He hasn't had a lot of time, but after a little while, after 1 year in high school, 1 year in college, 3 years in a pro, and he still looks the way he does. I mean, at some point, you just got to say he is who he is. He's an athletic guy playing quarterback. That's who said that the other day. I can't remember who I heard that from. There's quarterbacks that are quarterbacks, but they're athletic. Then there's athletic people playing quarterback. And that's what he is. He's an athletic person playing quarterback.
And here's my other problem with people in the comments. I made the statement, he's playing against guys. He's playing against second and third string guys he's not dominating. And people are saying, well, our guys are the same way. But if you look at our guys, in preseason, I would probably say at least 2 of our offensive linemen were the highest rated at their position in Josh Ball and I just went blank. Awesome Richards.
Yeah. Richards.
So he had decent blockers. And the receivers that he was playing with, those are the same receivers he was practicing with all year. There were no rookies out there except for Flournoy, and that was only in the last game.
Yeah, it wasn't like their receivers was having separation issues.
Right. They were open.
It was because he was throwing it 10 yards over their fucking head.
Yep.
You know, or 4 yards ahead of them or 4 yards behind them. I mean, or just seeing them and throwing it right to the fucking defender because he doesn't see the post-snap read. He doesn't see the linebacker drop back. He doesn't see the fucking defensive end. It's one thing. Every once in a while, that gets that. Mahomes have got tricked. They all get tricked. But he's constantly not. Once that ball is snapped, once he gets off his first read, it's chaos after that for him. You know, and like I said, after hours of watching film and hours of practicing and being with a great quarterback system in San Francisco and people can think what they want about McCarthy, but he's coached some pretty good fucking quarterbacks in his lifetime, and being in that system, after a little while, you just gotta throw your hands up and say, "Fuck it, he is who he is."
Right. And I just hate the rookie comparison, like you said. If this was a guy who was drafted in April, first training camp in July, he's only practiced for 4 weeks, still learning the playbook, a bunch of first-year rookie receivers, and we saw that, okay, he gets a pass.
Yeah, I've been all right. I've been like, look, he'll learn.
Right.
You know, he's making rookie mistakes, and he's not a fucking rookie.
Not a rookie.
Everything he's done is. I said he looks like. Somebody asked me, "What do you think he looks like?" He looks like a first-round pick that didn't play a lot of college football, but he's in his 4th year. I mean, he that's what I would expect him to look like in 2021 when he got drafted, or 2022, whenever it was when he got drafted. Yeah, 2021. That's what I expected him to look like. 3 years in, I don't give a shit how many games he played. He's had enough reps to get better, and he hasn't got fucking better.
Yeah. So Eric said he
and
looks like.
I don't have nothing against the kid. It ain't like I got. I don't know him, and
I don't either. Yeah, right.
I mean, I mean, I don't know. I know he was brought in here. I know a lot of people that don't like Dak was, all up on his nuts, and that's who they was hoping and praying that he would play good. That way, Cowboys can let Dak walk, and we could have a future. And look, maybe we'll get lucky again after Dak leaves, but at some point they're going to have to draft a quarterback high. I mean, our last 2 quarterbacks we have 100% totally looked into. And speaking of rookie quarterbacks who look good and playing with 3rd and 4th stringers, Dak Prescott, his rookie year, I didn't even like Eric.
Same thing I said.
He can tell you, I didn't even like Dak. I didn't want him on the team. I thought his ceiling to me was a quality backup quarterback. That was as high as he would ever get. But his first game against the Rams, I was like, I might be wrong on this dude, because he was calm and he looked like he belonged. When things was going around him, he was calm. He just looked like he belonged. And then the second game against Miami, even more. Than the third game, I was like, all right, we have something here. Now, I didn't think we had what we had, but I thought, all right, he'll be fine. 8 games, Romo out, he can get us to 4-4. We'll be okay. And then after that Philly game, when he looked like shit for 3.5 quarters, then he led the team down the field and scored a touchdown at top and got the ball in overtime, led the team down. I'm like, this is his team. I love Romo. I'm a Romo sexual. I was like, but I'm a Dakaholic now, and he's got to go. Romo's got to go, and this is Dak's team now.
Yeah.
So so I can go into a game or to a thing not liking, like I could go in not liking him and not thinking he's very good and thought the 4th round pick was stupid, and he could have changed my mind. I changed it on Dak fucking quick. But he didn't. I mean, he came in and he looked like he did 3 years ago. He looked like a rookie.
Yeah.
That hadn't played much college football. So
yeah. Eric says he looks like Eric Crouch or Terrell Pryor. By the way, 2 guys that had to change positions in the NFL. And Riker says if little playing time is an excuse, then explain Jordan Love. Because Jordan Love was a guy who sat for a year, came in and still produced. Against starters, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, there's nothing. Yeah, he's just not getting it. Hey man, sometimes you just ain't fucking good at your position. I mean, it ain't like every 1st round draft pick that was drafted became goddamn good. There's been a lot of quarterbacks drafted in the 1st round that sucked ass. Was good college players and fucking great, and they just for whatever reason came into pros and couldn't fucking do it. So I mean,
if I'm not mistaken, every quarterback in the 1st round from the 2022 draft is on a different team.
Yes, I think it is. I think it is the 2022 draft.
Yeah, so it happens at quarterback. Going back to the defensive side of the ball, and I know we'll probably talk about Bland a little bit. What do you think about the corner position? Do you think we should have went a little deeper at corner instead of just keeping 5?
No, I mean I wish we could have went deeper. I just don't think. I mean, like I said, Eric Scott. I mean, he got picked up too. I wasn't really impressed with him. I mean, I wouldn't have been anti him coming back on the practice squad, but I'm not freaking the fuck out either about him get picked up by who picked him up? Vikings? Did the Vikings pick him up? Who picked him up? I know Wood went to Tennessee. I can't remember where Scott went. Maybe the Bengals. I can't remember where the fuck he went.
It looks like the Chiefs.
Chiefs. There you go. Yeah,
yep.
Chiefs. Yeah, no, I don't have. I mean, you know, but yeah, overall, like I said, overall the 53. There was. I mean, I hated seeing Rodgers go. I was a big fan of Rodgers.
Me too. You know when we picked him up, I said I told you he was going to be better than Mozzie, and you said I was crazy.
Yeah, did I?
Yeah,
I know I fell in love with the quick after that. You might have told me that, but yeah, going into training camp, I made a big old post on X with his picture saying starting the year off.
Mm-hmm.
I figured he'd beat out Mozzie, but then we signed 2 big guys, so I knew then that he was going to get pushed out.
Yep. Linebacker, Buddy Johnson. You shocked they kept him over Harvey?
No, because I think once I got down to that level, I think it was for me a flip a coin. Like any him or Harvey, or even the other guy. My mind's going blank. Vigil. I would have been okay with any of them, or I could argue with any of them. I can argue to put any of them on there. It wasn't really that much of an issue with me because I like our top end anyways. So yeah, I was okay with that.
Okay.
Maybe a little shocked, you know. I probably would have leaned towards Harvey, but no, I wasn't that upset about it.
Yeah, I was only shocked because we have so much inexperience behind Kendricks. I thought they may have wanted to keep another veteran.
Well, that's what that's what I was just about to say. I was shocked because of Harvey's background and how much he's played. That probably was a shock. Maybe the play on the field necessarily didn't shock me on who they picked. But the experience did kind of shock me a little bit.
Yeah. Defensive line, we talked about Rodgers. Were you shocked they didn't keep Carl Lawson and they kept Tyrus Wheat or Tyus Wheat?
Because Carl Lawson, look, man, I mean he might end up doing something, but to me, he's depth right now. I mean, and Wheat can play special teams. I think Bones is a big Wheat fan.
Yeah, he is.
You know, so that helped him. Too. And Carl ain't going to do that. And I ain't going to lie to you, I wasn't very impressed with what Lawson did during the preseason. I mean, don't get me wrong, he hasn't played in a long time. I mean, so I get all that. But he was going against some people that's no longer in the league right now, and he wasn't very impressive. I'm not saying he can't get better, that he just shape-wise and just getting his rhythm back, he could. I'm just saying that I wasn't shocked. I could understand it, and it showed. I mean, you know, he came back. He's on practice squad now. So.
I made a tweet. I was disappointed that Carl Lawson for us didn't look like, what was the safety's name? That the safety that made all the plays, former Raven. On the last game we played against the Chargers.
God damn it.
I got to look him up now. But yeah, he started forever for the Ravens, and I was shocked to see him in a game that late in the preseason, and he pretty much showed like why he's a 10-year vet and all those other guys are fighting for roster spots, because he was all over the place.
Yeah, he was.
So I made a tweet. I was shocked Carl Lawson for us didn't look like that guy did for them. And I'm trying to find, I don't even see him now. He had 2 interceptions. It'll come up. So Shane had a couple of questions. First question was, would you trade Mozzie after this year?
Now, it depends how he plays. And I don't know what his trade value would be anyways.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if he plays bad enough, they want to trade him. That means he didn't have a good year. So I don't know you're really getting anything for him anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, he could end up being like a, whatchamacallit, Michigan guy we drafted a few years ago. Taco, where he had 2 years. I think we gave Taco, 2? I think he was going into his 3rd year when we dropped him. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I mean, we might be able to get a 6th or 7th for him, maybe a 5th or something.
Maybe.
Somebody wants to try him. Hell, I don't know, but
Thanks, Tony Jefferson. That's the guy.
yeah, I do think I do think this is a big year for him. I mean, I do think if he doesn't do anything, I don't think he'll be a Cowboy next year. I do think they'll cut ties with him.
I agree. Shane Odom asked another question about the offensive side of the ball. Let's say Dak has a bad year. Do you think Jerry will let him go, or will he try to sign him back at a lesser value?
Well, you can answer that first because mine's going to be long-winded.
I don't think there's a year bad enough where Dak can come back at a lesser value. Dak is, for the past 3 years, statistically, whether you like him or not, statistically, he's at worst the 3rd best quarterback in the league. And we just watched Kirk Cousins have a average year and tear his Achilles, and he was the most coveted quarterback on free agency. So if Dak at 31, coming off of a MVP level year, turns around and has what we would consider a bad year, and again, a bad year for Dak is still going to be an above average year for most quarterbacks in the league. So even with that, you're not going to get him at a discount because he's a free agent, and there are a lot of teams with terrible quarterbacks that would take Dak's bad year over the quarterback they have 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, that would be my first question is define bad year.
Yeah.
Because Dak's worst year he's had was 2017. Since 2018, he's pretty much improved every year, and been top 5 to 7 quarterbacks statistically every year. So I don't really know what a bad year would even mean. There's no signs of him having a bad year. He still has CD, still got Fergie. I think his offensive line is probably at worst the same as it was last year, but I think it'll get better as the year goes on. I think our run game would be at minimum as good as it was last year, or bad, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
However, so I don't see any reason why he would have a bad year. Will he lead the league in touchdowns again? Maybe not. I don't know. So maybe he'll get 25 instead of 35. I don't know. He'll have another good year. So I don't see that happening. And this thing about Dak, I was going to talk more about him, but after this video, after this live show, I'm going to drop a video so I can just go full rant on this shit. If Dak does not have a contract by the end of the season, for all you fucks out there that think, well, they still got 2 months to sign him, they'll sign him before March. They'll just let him play out the season, let him prove it. First of all, my question would be, prove what? All right, that he can win in the playoffs. What other fucking quarterback had to do that? Did Josh Allen have to do that before he got his contract? Did fucking
Dak has a better playoff record than Lamar Jackson.
Did Jackson have to prove what he could do? No. So I don't know why Dak has to fucking always prove shit. But again, I'll go on that rant fucking on my own little fucking live video or my fucking recorded video. Shit, hell, I just lost my train of fucking thought. What I was even fucking saying now about fucking Dak. That shit gets. Oh yeah, for all y'all think that that the Cowboys should wait. He will not be a Cowboy if the Cowboys don't sign him by the end of the year. Once that last game hits, Dak is gone.
Yeah,
plain and simple. He is not coming back because the Cowboys will not be able to match, or they will be able to. They're not going to match what he gets on the open fucking market.
Yeah,
they will not fucking match that. And what if he does go to the Super Bowl and win it? Then what the fuck? You going to pay him $80 million a year? I mean, Jerry's really seriously. I mean, because that's what you're doing. And if you don't, you're going to lose him. Like I said, I mean, there is no if, ands, or buts about it. If he hits that last day of the season and he ain't got a contract done, or if sometime during the season Dak tells him to fuck off, I'm not signing anything, I'm playing this out, then then if you like Dak like I do, enjoy it because you'll never see him in a Cowboys uniform again.
Yeah.
And if you don't like Dak, fucking celebrate because he will never be in a Cowboy uniform again.
Yeah.
the Cowboys right now are in a. People think they're going to reset. I keep seeing that. I keep seeing people like, oh, they're just going to let them walk. We're going to redo what, you dipshits? Y'all don't even realize what the fuck is going on. If you want that, if that's what their plan is, they done fucked it up. I signed a CD Lamb to $34 million. All right, right now you let that walk at the end of the year. You have a $34 million fucking wide receiver that ain't got a fucking quarterback to throw to him. You got a fucking Parsons that's an edge rusher that's going to get probably $40 million in a fucking year. Okay, and you have no draft capital to get another quarterback. If you want Dak to walk, I would be okay with that if you would have traded CD Lamb.
Yeah,
I love Lamb. If you know already I'm letting Dak walk, this is like, then fucking trade him. Trade him, get rid of his best wide receiver. That way you probably won't be as good. You won't win as many fucking games. And I'll trade Parsons too. If you're going to do a true rebuild, that's what you have to do. They've already signed CD. That, to me, that tells me they're not in rebuild mode.
mm-hmm.
That's not what's going to happen. Now, where they sign Dak, I'll tell you this: if they don't sign Dak, then this organization is a lot more lost than I thought they were.
Yeah,
because they're going to go into 2025 with a $34 million quarterback, an edge rusher asking for $40 million, no draft capital to replace that quarterback. And oh yeah, that fucking quarterback you lost, he's taking away $40 million your cap.
Yep. Nothing.
So you have no quarterbacks on your roster because they're all gone. All their contracts are, and you still have $40 million. The quarterback position is taken, and you ain't got one fucking quarterback on your roster. Yep. Not one. And you got a $34 million fucking wide receiver nobody's throwing to, and you're going to have a fucking edge guy that's saying, hey, if I ain't got a fucking quarterback, if I'm the star of this fucking team, oh, motherfuckers, y'all paying me that quarterback money. And he will hold out next year.
Yeah.
Parsons will hold out next year without a fucking contract. And we'll be in the exact same boat. And he'll be holding out without no fucking quarterback if they let that walk.
Yeah. I had a skies falling rant of what could happen next year, and to add on to what you said about Dak being gone and no quarterbacks, if we go into next year without Dak here, you got Parsons that's want to get paid. You'll have Tyler Smith, who will probably be coming off a second All-Pro season. He'll be due for a contract. You'll have Deron Bland, who, if he didn't get hurt, he was probably on his way to a second All-Pro season, but he got hurt. He's probably going to still come back and be okay, but he'll be due for a contract. D-Law's going to be a free agent. Zach Martin's going to be a free agent. Who else am I missing? Osa Adiki Sue is going to be a free agent. So you're talking Malik Hooker, I think, is going to be a free agent. So you're talking 5 veterans that are missing, and then another 3 top stars in the NFL who will be due for a contract. And like you said, they're going to look at how Dak was treated, and they're going to get ahead of it and demand to get paid now, so they don't go through what Dak goes through in the last season of their deals.
I've been saying for the past 5 years, if you want
Jake Ferguson too, my fault.
Pay you, hold out.
Jake Ferguson also be due a contract.
Now you have people like Diggs, but Diggs accepted a contract. To me, he shouldn't accept it. Diggs could have gotten a lot more than what he did, but that was his choice. That's how he wanted to do it. He chose to pay what they offered, and that's fine. But if you want to get paid, and Michael Parsons does, he's going to hold out.
Yeah.
You know, and them other guys, I mean, they've shown it over and over again. They don't want to pay their top guys. They just, unless they hold out, they'll pay it. You know, they got lucky with that. That was going to hold out in 2020, but COVID took out the offseason and kind of took off his leverage, and he had no fucking leverage after that because nobody was practicing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, I mean, like I said, if you truly want to get rid of that and you want to reset, that's fine. I mean, I don't agree with it, but they've already done it wrong. They've already signed CeeDee Lamb. That was one of your pieces that you could have got some draft capital to help you get another quarterback. You know, or maybe they decided they want to keep CD. Maybe they'll want to trade Parsons. I can't imagine that because Jerry Jones is brand above fucking everything else. And Michael Parsons is a great brand for the fucking Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see him fucking trading Parsons. So I mean, so like I said, you're going to have a $40 million fucking edge guy, a $34 million receiver, and no quarterback to throw to, and $40 million of cap space taken without having one quarterback on your fucking roster.
Yeah.
So if that's y'all's definition of reboot and fucking redoing it, y'all fucking stupid. Y'all dumb as the fucking front office is.
Yeah, it could really be a skies falling situation in Dallas next year. If and I think Dak is the Jenga piece at the top that makes the whole thing crumble.
I think so too. I don't think I'm wondering if Jerry Jones and them really know how much pull Dak has. Like how, like fucking like Parsons ain't taking the team for any deal regardless.
No.
But he's going to press more. If they let Dak walk, that motherfucker's going to press hard for a shitload of money. Because he's like fucking, hey, if I'm going to be on a bad team, a team without a fucking quarterback, well, I'm getting fucking paid for that shit.
Yep.
And I'm going to get paid fucking pretty.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think if and Dak said it today. Dak said that if he doesn't have, said what would it mean if you didn't got a contract? And he said it tell you how they feel.
How they feel, right?
Today, he goes, I don't know, and it will, and it won't just show Dak. It will show the whole fucking team. And they just put their fucking wide receiver through a fucking holdout that did not need to happen.
Yeah.
As soon as fucking Justin Jefferson signed that contract, from what I understand, CeeDee Lamb was asking for 34 the whole time. The contract he got was a contract he was asking for the day fucking Jefferson signed his contract. So you went all that fucking time for what? To pay him anyways. It's the same with Zeke. Fucking, it was stupid for them to sign Zeke. But when they signed him, I'm like, fuck it, man. If that's what you was going to give him, I mean, if you was going to make him the highest paid running, why the fuck did you make him hold out for a month?
Yeah.
Why don't you just get this shit over with and give it to him? You knew you was going to give it to him. Why fucking wait till 3 days for the season or 5 days, whatever it was that time?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes no sense. And now you do your fucking quarterback like that again. I mean, they done made that pay on last year of his contract. They done fucking tagged him and made him play on a tag that he fucking snapped his fucking ankle, and almost had a career in an injury, And so, I mean, and now they're going to do it again. And so, yeah, they look bad when they do this. And no other team really does this. San Francisco has a couple of guys out right now. Also, although I saw Ayuk signed today. But Ayuk, that was more on Ayuk than San Fran, because I think Ayuk was kind of wanting a little bit more than he deserved. Like, I think he wanted some Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb money, and I'm like, you ain't quite there. I'm not saying you can't be, but you just haven't done nothing to their level yet.
Right.
So I think that was more on him. But now Trent Williams thing, yeah, they are fucking that up. They just need to pay that motherfucker.
They got to.
I mean, you take him out, and that team, that offense downgrades by quite a bit.
And the crazy part about him is, it sounds like he doesn't even want more money. He just wants the money he has left to be guaranteed.
Yeah. He just wants to. He don't want a new contract. He just wants his shit reworked.
Right.
Yeah. No. So yeah, San Francisco is fucking that one up.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they don't fuck it up. I mean, I guess they did Debo a couple years ago. Fucking Debo had a threat to hold out and want to trade and shit like that. But for the most part, most teams don't. I mean, like, I hate fucking Philadelphia, but they sign their guys.
They do it right.
I mean, they don't even fuck. They got right now, they have 8 guys with top 5 contracts. 8 of them. 8 guys with top 5 contracts. 7 if you don't count kickers, and that's fine if you don't. But either way, they have 8 guys. They got a running back, a receiver, a quarterback, a guard, a tackle. I can't remember all the positions. That's 5 of the positions.
Both receivers. Right, you said both receivers.
No, the other one, I don't think he's top 5. He's top 10 though.
I think he's just below Brown. I think it's like 32 and 32 and a half.
It might be. Yeah, I can't remember. I thought it was just one receiver and the other one was top 10. I thought Smith was top 10. But anyway, fuck that. Even he's top 10. That's 8 top 5s and 1 top 10. And I didn't even count top 10s. So I probably could add a couple more in there. So yeah, I mean, it just, You know, like I said, I can't stand the fucking Eagles, but they do sign their guys. They don't fuck around. You know.
Sorry, I'm checking. Oh my goodness, I'm checking the North Dakota State, Colorado in the
Oh yeah,
scores.
what is that game, man? That's why I asked you, because when I saw that game was coming on, that's why I called. Hey, do you want to watch it or something? Because if you did, I wouldn't mind if we postpone this or something.
It's
But
not
it wasn't
that
that important to me, but it was a game I'd watch. What is it?
I'm trying to pull it up. It looks like it's 17-20 Colorado.
Well, see, I can't fucking stand Deion Sanders, so I hope they fucking lose. I can't stand that motherfucker. I liked him for the few years he was on the Cowboys, but I don't like him before that. I really didn't even like him that much when he was on the Cowboys. He was the bad motherfucker, so I like him being on my team.
Oh no, it's 20-17 North Dakota State.
Dude, you know how much I'm gonna fucking laugh if they fucking goddamn pull this off? As much shit as that motherfucker talks, and as much shit as his sons talk.
Charlie, it shouldn't be that close. It should not be that close. North Dakota State is a division.
I don't know if it should or not. I'm just saying Colorado to me is overrated. They got Deion, and that's why everybody rates them so high. I don't think Shredder. I'm not impressed with him as a quarterback as much as other people are. I'm not saying. I mean, I think he deserves to go in the first round, but not top 5 pick like everybody thinks. He don't impress me that much.
Shedeur Sanders just do an interception in the red zone. They want a 4-yard line.
He don't impress me as much as some people.
So yeah, it's 2017. North Dakota State got the ball in the 20. That's a Division II. Charlie, that's a Division II team with a losing record from last year.
It is, and I'm gonna laugh if they lose to them.
And Colorado's at home. It should be 20-0.
Yep. But anyway, that's my little Dak rant. Like I said, I'm gonna drop a video after this because I have a lot of stuff. That question I asked you earlier, I just didn't want to make sure I didn't cross no lines. But I'm gonna go off on a lot of things because I think the media, some media people are taking quotes, not taking the whole quote, just taking one sentence of the quote and not letting you know what the question was, and it looks like shit. You know, but once you watch the whole press conference of Jerry Jones and everything he says, and once I saw exactly what Dak said when he said about that he don't listen to Jerry Jones anymore. He said something before that. He admitted it's the business. Jerry Jones saying something. It's a business. One fucking person on Twitter, one Cowboys beat writer, put a quote up there that was not the quote about the question. It was a different quote that they gave that Jerry said. Todd Arch is the only one. That's why I follow Todd, because he doesn't do that. He doesn't snippet little pieces. He'll tell you the whole. He'll tell you what the question was, and he'll tell you what the fuck the whole answer was. He won't give you a snippet and make it look like it was something more than what it was. But I will say this: I think Dak. I don't think Dak is as close as Jerry as a lot of players have been in the past, like a Emmitt Smith or a Michael Irvin or a DeMarcus Ware. Like if Dak ever went in the Hall of Fame, and you fucks that think I'm saying that. I'm not saying he's going. I'm just saying if he ever went in the Hall of Fame, Jerry's not going to be fucking introducing him. You know, he's not going to choose Jerry. They're not like that. I think him and Jerry, I think he looks at Jerry a lot like Aikman always did. Like he respects him. Hey, you're the owner. You're the one paying me, and blah blah. But you know, I don't agree with everything you fucking do. You're kind of a dipshit at times, and I don't agree with a lot of that shit. And hell, Dak ain't no different than me. I gave up listening to Jerry a long time ago.
I think everybody did, except for the guys who have to.
Yeah, it used to be cute and fun and make me laugh. But now it's just like, dude, just shut the fuck up, man. It's just a bunch of and just like, man, just you're embarrassing yourself, man.
Yep.
It's fucking sad sometimes. You know, so. But yeah.
Yeah, not like Jerry and Tony.
You like the CD contract? Think that was a fair contract? That's about what you thought it was going to be, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you said the same thing. Whatever Jefferson got, give him $1 million less.
Give him $1 million. Yeah, just fucking just offer him 30. I mean, was CD maybe no, I was about to say something, but no. From what I understand, once Jefferson signed, CD's thing has been $34 million for weeks now. That's what he's been. And when they said 32.5 when that report came out, I mean, that's a slap in CD's face.
Yeah.
That's giving you the second highest by 500K.
Exactly.
It's CD saying, no, I'm closer to Jefferson than I am
AJ Brown.
Than Brown. Yeah. He said, no, you got to get me up further than that. And I know it's only $1.5 million, and people are like, well, what's $1.5 million? Well, $1.5 million more means more guaranteed, more fully guaranteed because of percentages. But more than anything, it's just respect.
Respect,
it's
right?
Like,
I was just gonna say that.
Like, okay, I'll accept being $1 million less than Jefferson. I'm not going to accept being only 500K above Brown. That we're not doing that shit.
And he's an Eagle,
huh?
And he's an Eagle.
Yeah.
Just for that alone, you should try to one up him.
Yeah, but yeah, that's. But like I said, I don't understand when they make them wait. But that's just, it makes no sense. It's not even about making them wait and making them cost them more money.
Yeah.
See, well, somebody said last year that they did try to pay him last year, because I said they should have tried to pay him last year. They offered him $25 million last year. Dude, that's not going to get. Even then, that wasn't going to get it done. I mean, that's kind of the whole point.
Yeah.
And this is what's fucked up. Stephen Jones said in the press conference before training camp, and I thought he was lying. I thought he was just bullshit, but now I'm starting to think maybe he was telling the truth. He said, well, we can't predict what the other contract's going to be. In my head, I'm like, well, that's bullshit. I predict them all the time. I'm always within $1 million, $2 million. I mean, I'm not far off on any of them.
Right.
The top contract. When you start talking about the military, I can't do them. But the top contract, the CDs, the DAX, the Jeffersons, I can do them. I can't do the other ones.
Right.
So yeah, you can predict them. But then when I heard he only offered $25 million, I'm like, well, I thought maybe they can't predict. Maybe they are that dumb. Yeah. They can't predict. Because right then what you could have done was offer him 29, which is $1 million below fucking
Tyreek Hill.
Well, fuck it. Just bite the bullet. 30.
Yeah.
To just make him the highest paid. And that way when he goes off, and because there was no sign of him going down. His trajectory goes up every fucking year. Yep. So you knew more likely he was going to go up another fucking notch. So and he was going to ask for even fucking more. 25 wasn't even going to come close.
Yeah.
So just go ahead and give him the 30 fucking million and end that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't do that. They just wait. And sometimes I think it is because they can't. I think they are shocked when players get paid. They're like, oh my God, you got paid.
Mm-hmm.
I think they shocked that Love got 56. I think they shocked that Lawrence got 56. I think that shocks them. I think they're like, I think at one time they was thinking, oh, we get that 56, 57. No, motherfucker, that never.
No, they probably thought they could get him for 52 and a half, $500,000 above Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, or some bullshit like that. And it's like, dude, it's never going to happen. And some people think it's because they still on the Cowboys thing. You were the star, you make a lot of money off the field, you should give us discount. I can't believe that anymore because they can't believe that anymore.
Right.
I mean, you can't be going through at least 10 years of this shit of nobody taking hometown discounts and still believing somebody's going to take a hometown discount. I mean, I don't really, or because you're going to get a star on your helmet that you'll take less money. Mm-hmm. That's just that they can't still think that way. There's no way that there's no way they're that dumb, but I guess it's possible they're that dumb. And
that's true. It's possible.
But yeah, no, man.
I'm glad to see he got paid. Finally.
Yeah, no, yeah. 50, like I said, we was going to go with the 53. You did a good job of that last night. That's why when you went over last night, I listened to your show last night. I was like, all right, well, you went over most of it. Most of everything was talked about last night. And like I said, the 53 kind of went chalk. So there wasn't really no, oh shit, what the fuck are they doing? Besides well, let's go. But that's not really, it was oh shit, but like it's not like they lost somebody really, really fucking badass just to him. So it wasn't that big of a deal.
You see Eric's comment.
Roger was probably my biggest takeaway. I'm sad, man.
He said no state tax, take $15 million below market.
Well, that's another thing about state tax is I'm not saying there's advantage of living in Texas because there's no state tax, but I will say this. I think people don't know this. When football players play, when we go to New York and play the New York Giants, our players play the New York tax on that game. Their game check gets taxed for that game in New York. So, yes, you got the advantage that you're going to have, depending on the year now, it's 17 games, 8 or 9 games that you get no tax, state tax.
Right.
But them other, your away games, depending on where you play, you will get taxed. I wish I would have known he was going to talk about this. There's an article from back in 2014, 15 somewhere that was going over the amount of taxes that the Cowboy players have to pay when they're in training camp. And I was like, holy shit, man. I mean, they get drugged through the dirt just for practicing
in California. Training camp, yeah.
Their checks that they're because they don't get paid, big. It's just a certain amount for training camp. They get this shit taxed out of them. They were showing Des Bryant how much he paid and how much Tyron Smith had to pay in taxes back then. So when they play out of state, like if you're playing the Rams and the fucking 49ers one year, well, that's 2 games that you got to go on the road for. You're getting the shit taxed, and if you get unlucky and you end up fucking having to play another like AFC West and playing the Chargers out there, the Raiders, you're getting shit taxed out of you. So that them 8 games, 9 games at home, that's great, but you're still getting taxed on road games.
But the other problem is going back to what you said, respect. These players and these agents don't care about you save X amount here than here. They're gonna look at, I've got the top quarterback in the NFL as my client, and I got him the highest paid salary. It's not gonna show, well, if you look at state tax, he got this. No, they want to get the biggest number possible so they can get their bigger cut. And if you have the next great quarterback as an agent, you can say, well, the quarterback before you was one of my agents and he got the highest paid contract. I'm going to get you the highest paid contract. They could care less about, well, if you look at the state tax, he only got 52, but if you add in the 7 for the state tax, it's actually 57. No, they want the number. And these players don't think about it either, because to them it's respect. Even if even if a quarterback lives in I'll use Trevor Lawrence as an example because I don't want to keep using that. Trevor Lawrence is in Florida. His contract was what, $55 million? Do you think he would have taken 51 because he lives in Florida and Justin Herbert lives in LA? And well, even though I live in Florida, I technically make more than him. No, he wants more than Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
It's a respect thing.
Yeah.
So so the views have been going up pretty much the whole time we've been on.
Yeah, I didn't know this. I don't know if you used to be able to do this because I haven't been live in 2 years. There's a little eyeball up here you can click on or over. A lot of them views is on X.
Okay.
Yeah, that it's 21 on X and so many on Established Pass and so many on Bluff City Cowboys.
Maybe I should start paying for X then because the views are
majority
on Twitter.
Yeah.
And Eric's, that's probably why you're not getting comments either, because it's probably hard to leave a comment and watch a video on X.
Because it is. Yeah. Your locker has LED. What?
Eric's putting a bunch of crazy stuff up here about reasons why you would sign with Dallas.
Oh.
So he said you can put a sunglass hood in the lobby of the star like Jalen Smith, or
probably high as fuck.
You get the hug Charlotte. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said the Larkers has LED lights.
I know a lot of people was hoping Charlotte takes over once Jerry goes and shit like that. But I always wonder why. I mean, I don't. Why do people think she wouldn't be the same way as Steven? I don't. I mean, some people think they're convinced that she'd run the team better.
Yeah, I don't get that.
That's just a hope and a prayer that because they know how Steven's going to run it. Mm-hmm. So maybe they just hope that Charlotte would do better. I don't know. Maybe they know something I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get that one either.
But hell, anyways, man, we're what, hour into it?
Got an hour out of it.
We got an hour out of it. Like I said, sorry y'all that we ran a little late this time. Like I said, that's why I got my fucking Janet Jackson shit on here because I had to go to my girlfriend Rock. I had to go to her laptop and my shit don't plug into hers and there she is. Fucking go away.
Good evening, Rika.
You're going to fucking watch the views going to start dropping down that she's fucking showing her face. But anyways, she knows I love her.
Before we go, Charlie, just a couple of regular season questions.
Oh yeah, that's what we fuck. That's hell. I'm sitting there thinking. I know there was one more thing he's going to talk about. And I know it wasn't Dak. It was season expectations.
Yeah.
Like, what do you expect out of the season?
You know, one of the things that bothers me about the talking heads, they keep putting us below 10 wins. And when I look at the roster, okay, we don't like the running back position. Nobody does. We have 7 All-Pros in our starting 22. How can you say a team with 7 All-Pros is going to have a bad year when every other position outside of running back, you either got the same talent or you upgraded? And they keep saying, well, you got the distractions with the contracts. Well, we have that every year in Dallas. We've gone 12-5 the last 3 years. Where is this drop-off supposed to come from? Last time I checked.
Look, I dropped a video after the schedule came out, and I had us at 12 wins. No matter how many times I did the schedule, I could not get us below 10 wins. I just couldn't.
I can't either.
I'd have to just go. I can't explain it. If I'm at below 10 wins, it would just be me just trying to get us below 10 wins. And it's just, I couldn't. I mean, 10 wins to me is now, of course, injuries can happen.
Yeah.
You know, a rash of injuries or key injuries to, 3 or 4 players. I can't predict that shit. But like you said, as far as this roster goes, health stays relatively okay. I can't see less than 10 wins. Like I said, this team's won 12 games the past 3 years.
Right.
They still have the same quarterback. They still have C.D. Lamb. They still have Cooks. They still have Ferguson. Yeah. They still have Martin. They still have Tyler Smith. And if you want to keep going on the offense, I think they might have upgraded at the center position. Maybe not right away, because rookie might have some growing pains. But overall, at worst, I think it's going to be a push. Maybe downgrade a little bit on the left tackle spot, but you expect that. I'll take the fucking growing pains with that. That's fine with me. Okay. The third wide receiver, I think, is going to be an upgrade because our third wide receiver last year was Gallup. I think Numbnuts is going to be better this year.
Yep.
Right. Then you go defense side. We still got Michael Parsons. We still got D-Law. Diggs is coming back. So we'll upgrade. Well, I say we won't upgrade. We'll be the same there. Bland, that was a big punch. But before they was predicting this before Bland went out. So I'm going to act like Bland's down there. We still have Bland. All right. And Diggs was coming back. So we upgraded there. Right. Lewis, although I'm not a big fan of his, he played well at the end of last year. And from everything I've seen in preseason and the training camp, he's been off the charts good. So, he should be better. We still got Wilson. We still got Hooker. Thomas is his second year. He's going to be better, and he's been showing it all training camp and preseason.
Yeah.
So we still have all them players.
But we upgraded a defensive tackle.
In the second year of Mike McCarthy's system, they're not learning that shit anymore. They're toning in to what it is.
Right.
You expect Dak to even be better. Maybe not better numbers necessarily because he had a great year last year, but you expect him to be better because he's already been in the system 1 year.
Yeah.
C.D. Lamb. So yeah, I don't really see. I mean, even our backups are a lot alike. Now on defense, we did lose some depth. We lost Armstrong. I know you love him. I love him too.
Yeah.
We lost Fowler. I love that guy. But that happens every year. The roster's going to churn every year. Right. So I mean, you can't keep all your backups, everybody at all times. So, but yeah, no, I'm with you. If they say 10 wins, I'm like, that's fine. I mean, I say 11 or 12, but I'm not going to argue about 10.
Yeah.
But when I start seeing people tell me 7 or 8, I'm like, come on, man. What the fuck are you even seeing? I don't even see 8 or 9 teams on our team. I mean, hell, we're favored right now in 13 games out of 17. There's only 4 games that we're not favored. Now that doesn't mean we win every game we're favored and we lose every game we're not. But from predominantly, that kind of tells you we're favored in 13 games. So I mean, I don't understand where you're coming up with the 8 and 9 losses. I don't get that. If you come up with 7 losses, I don't. But I mean, that's fine. I mean, it could go wrong. I've been wrong before on this, but yeah, but anything below 10, man, I'm with you. I don't understand what. I don't know. I think I don't want to tell you. I think it has to do with 2 things. I think the Green Bay game, it fucked the fans' head up and it fucked the media's head up. I think that, I mean, that, don't get me wrong, that was a fucking bad loss.
Terrible
the only
loss.
loss for me that compared to that, and actually was worse than that one, was a 2007 Giants game. I mean, because that year we had the best team in the NFC, and we had the second best team in the NFL. And the Giants came into our house division round and beat us, #1 seed. And that fucking crushed me. In fact, that made me watch football totally different. Totally watch the Cowboys totally different. So, and that game, that Green Bay game, was very comparable to that, because I wasn't thinking about us losing to Green Bay. I was already looking like, okay, who do I want to win? Who do I face? Because I'm not that I disregarded Green Bay. It's just that we was a better team, and I still think we was a better team. They just, our defense, I don't know what happened. Dak fucking, by the time fucking everything went off, Dak was sucking, or run game. Everything. I don't know. It was a wild game. I mean, like I said before, it's 21-0. I'm sitting there going, man, what the fuck are we doing? Like, well, how did this even happen? Receivers is running wide open down the field, and I'm like, we wasn't putting no pressure on Love. Everything that we did good on defense, pressure and turnovers, we wasn't worth a shit at. So, but I think it was that game, and I think it was Jerry saying he's going all in, and then them not signing a fucking player in the offseason. And I think people are just, I think fans and media are just like looking. I think they're doom and gloom, and like I said, I mean, don't get me wrong, that game hurt. It took me a couple months to get over it and shit. And I'm not a bookmark person, or a receipt person really, but I have bookmarked some tweets that have been said in the past 6 months. All these motherfuckers say, I don't care about 2024 season. We're looking for 2025. I don't care how we do this year. Y'all do. You say you don't, but we come out and we lose a game, y'all going to fucking bitch. We come out winning a game, y'all going to be happy. And my thing is this: football's 17 weeks long. All right, I worry about the fucking playoffs once the playoffs get here. All right, but I'm going to enjoy every fucking game. I'm going to be disappointed when we lose, and I'm going to be happy as fuck when we win. And when we get to the playoffs, then I'll worry about the playoffs. But people who say, I don't care about what we do in the regular season, I want to see what we do in the playoffs. Well, fuck, I'm not waiting 17 weeks to get excited or be pissed. I'm going to fucking, I'm going to enjoy every fucking week. I mean, every Sunday I'm going to be there, or Monday or Thursday, whatever day we play.
Right.
I'm not going to let the fucking game from 7 months ago fuck my whole season up.
Right.
That's a miserable fucking way to live.
And I hate to sound overly optimistic, but you look at Cincinnati, hadn't been to a Super Bowl since what, 83?
83.
Probably hadn't made the playoffs prior to that Super Bowl run since the Carson Palmer broken leg game. And I think that was probably 2006-07.
Well, Andy Dalton took them a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah. But
they
hadn't
won a playoff game.
Your point is they haven't had a lot of success over the years.
Right. They hadn't won a playoff game because Dalton didn't win any playoff
games. No, Dalton never won a game for him. Yes.
Right. So, I mean, it happens sometimes. The Lions made the first NFC championship ever last year. They had a nice run. It can happen. You can't judge one team's success off of prior history's failures. And that's kind of how I try to go into the season. You just never know. All it takes is 1 year for all things to click, and next thing you know, you're in the Super Bowl. It happens all the time.
I predicted us to go to Super Bowl minute because I thought we was going to have a good team, and we did.
Yeah.
I mean, we did. We had an argument going in the playoffs that, San Francisco was our little bugaboo. But besides that, I thought we was at least at worst the second best team. And shit happened, and it sucked. And like I said, I was depressed for 2 months. I didn't watch anything football. I didn't fucking watch anything draft. Well, I lied. I did do some mock drafts, playing around, just to waste some time. But I just kind of try to stay away from all the news and all the headlines and shit like that. But hey, it's the new season now. Now that's over with, and I'm fucking ready for this one. I mean, I like I said, I'm not going to let a game from 7 months prior change my way I'm going to feel Sunday, September 8th, when we go against fucking Cleveland Browns. I mean, I'm going to be hyped for that game. I'm going to be up at 7 o'clock in the morning watching all the fucking pregame shows. I'm going to fucking, have my fucking record set. I mean, I'm going to probably be cooking some steaks. So I'm going to be happy. And if we lose, then I'll be sad. And I'll be pissed. And I'll be on I'll drop a video cussing them, tell them how fucked up they are. And then when we win, I'll be on. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to enjoy the season. I'm not going to be one of them fans who's like, fuck it, I don't care about the playoffs. The thing about this, 99% of them lying. They care. They say they don't because it makes them sound good, but they're cussing and celebrating when they're fucking winning. Then if they happen to get in front of the camera, oh yeah, we won, but well, what are we going to do in the playoffs? Dude, shut the fuck up. Worry about the playoffs 17 weeks from now, or 16 or 15, whatever the game is. I ain't worried about the playoffs. I'll worry about the playoffs when they get here.
Since we're talking about the schedule, and I've never asked you this before, outside of the Niners game, what game on the schedule concerns you?
Let me pull it up real quick. I mean, I kind of know it, but well, Niners game is always going to concern me, because they got our fucking number. Some of the games that we have that I think are tough, they're at home, so they don't concern me as much as they would if they was on the road. I can tell you this without even looking. I know we play Baltimore.
I'll pull it up in a second.
Anytime we play a fucking running quarterback, that always going to concern me because I hate fucking playing them. Probably that some of that has to do with the past of us of not being very good against them type of guys, but maybe we're different. Cleveland doesn't. Although I do, when I made my season prediction, I had Cleveland as L. Just because it was on the road first game and shit like that. But I'm not concerned about them. I mean, if we won, it wouldn't be a shocker. New Orleans, I'm not concerned with. Baltimore, a little bit, but we're at home, so I think that doesn't concern me. Giants, fuck that. Pittsburgh, no. Detroit, same kind of like Baltimore, good team, so maybe a little bit, but I mean, I still have it as an L. As a W. San Francisco, Atlanta. Really, man, there's not. San Francisco's the only one because San Francisco has our number, and we got to go to San Francisco. The only good thing, though, Marcus, we got them before a bye week.
Yeah.
I mean, after a bye week. So we get 2 weeks to prepare for them. And what's their game right before us at October 27th? This is good live TV, us looking shit up while I'm fucking talking. We're professionals, motherfucker.
Give me 1 second.
October 20. They got the Chiefs.
Okay.
So they got the Chiefs before us. But I think they got them. Yeah, they got them at home, though. Hell, they got 3 home games in a row. Seahawks, Chiefs, and us.
So that's the Cowboys schedule. If you want to see the whole thing.
Yeah. But yeah, no, yeah. So we get the San Francisco. We get a bye, and they have to face the Chiefs the week before they face us. So maybe the Chiefs game will bang them up a little bit. I'm not wishing on injury, that. I'm just saying, just a big game, a lot of Super Bowl rematch of shit, and a lot of. Yeah, no. I mean, San Francisco, I honestly would be my only concern. That's not my only L. I mean, I got us losing more than San Francisco, but I'm just saying that's the one that concerns me. The rest of them, not so much.
Eric's being funny, said Giants at home. All right. So player questions, just curious. How many all pros you think we have this year, just off the top of your head?
I think with Martin
and Smith.
Tyler Smith.
Right. Think Jake
Ferguson. I might say Martin might not even deserve it, but with his name. Because Larry Allen, I love Larry Allen. He's the best ever. For the last couple of years, he made All Pro. He got it on name recognition.
Yeah.
But I'd say Martin, maybe. Probably Tyler Smith. CeeDee Lamb.
Right.
I don't
Jake
think
Ferguson could sneak one.
Huh?
Jake Ferguson think he could sneak one this year?
I think Jake could sneak one. I think he could. Obviously, Parsons.
Yeah.
I would say 4 or 5, maybe 5.
Okay.
I like to say I don't think Dak will get another one. Because there's only one. It's kind of, I think 2 people get it. 2, 1, 2, something like that. So it's kind of hard for them to get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess he could. He got one last year, so that was
Eric
his
says
first.
maybe Diggs also. I don't know about that one, but never know.
Diggs, I think maybe it just depends how he comes back from the injury and how long does it take him to get full speed.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, 4 or 5. That somewhere in there wouldn't surprise me if we had 4 or 5.
All right. Got another question. I'm sure you're going around on this one. What do you think about the Dalvin Cook signing? Say the best for last.
I think I don't think about it. I don't know. I mean, look, man. If you look up, if people know how I feel about running backs, and they know how I feel that if our offensive line is good, I'm okay with just about anybody you put back there.
Mm-hmm.
I always want the best players, regardless how important the position is. I don't give a shit. I want the best ones. Now when it comes to money, I'm willing to take a little less skill wise for not to have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Dalvin Cook goes, over the past 2 years, he's been one of the worst running backs in the NFL. All right, and people keep telling me last year when he was free agent and stuff, and Cowboy fans wanting to sign him, he was literally the worst running back in the NFL that in 2022. People keep telling me he had 8 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. I don't give a fuck about total yard stats. That's a volume stat. That's because he got the ball a whole lot.
Yeah.
So efficiency wise, what they call rushing yards over expected, he was literally last in that category. Meaning that what the offensive line gave him, he got. He didn't get nothing above what the offensive line gave him. All right, and not only that, he actually got less. He was negative in his rushing yards over expected.
Mm-hmm.
He was negative in that category, meaning he got less. That offensive line actually gave him more, and he still didn't get it. He got less than what he should have got. And another one is Zeke Elliott. Over the past 2 years, he's been right down there with Dalvin Cook as one of the worst running backs in NFL. Yep. He barely gives you what the offensive line gives you. So, yeah, I'm not very excited about it. I mean, I don't look for him to have some kind of bounce back here at, however old he is, 29 years old.
Uh-huh.
That's typically running backs don't do that. But like I said, I mean, I'm also not big on. I'm also not huge on running game. I've always said this: you don't have to run the ball. You have to be able to run the ball. And as long as your offensive line is good, you'll be able to run the ball good enough.
Yeah.
You don't have to be this badass team at running the ball.
Yeah.
But you do have to run the ball. I mean, you can't be a team that's like just sucks at running, and you're going to have a very difficult time getting to where you want to go if you cannot run the ball. You just don't have to. You don't have to run it 30, 35, 40 times, 10 times. But it doesn't matter how many times. Just when you run it, you have to be able to run it. And I don't see anything that he brings to the table that makes me I mean, I'm more excited about everybody but him and Zeke. I mean, Zeke is who he is. I mean, Zeke's going to give you the 1-yarders. I will get that. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, 3rd and goal. Yeah, he's going to give you that, and Dalvin Cook might even be able to give you that. As far as for in between the 20s, yeah, neither one of them impressed me much.
Yeah,
they've been some of the worst running backs in the NFL.
Yeah, and I'm on the same lines. Kind of what I said about Deuce Vaughn. Dalvin Cook's not playing any special teams. We're not using 3 running backs in a game. Nobody uses 3 running backs in the game, really. So you're gonna be relying heavily on your top 2, which are Zeke and Dowdle. So in what situation are you gonna get him on the field? And he's on the practice squad. So are you gonna? You may call him up for a game just to get the hype out there, but he's not getting a lot of significant snaps. And even if he is back, he's used to being a number 1 guy, like you said. In Minnesota, he got a ton of carries, and he was inefficient. Now you put him on a team where he hopes he can get 5 carries. You think those are going to be 5 great carries from a 29-year-old back who, by the way, has played in an outside zone scheme since college, and now you're trying to have him run between the guards instead of stretching it out and cutting up? It's going to be a big transition for him trying to be effective. So I'm not looking for a lot from him either, unless heaven forbid, one of our top 2 running backs goes down, and you have to try to lean on him to get what you can.
Well, if Zeke goes down, I'm okay with that because I mean you're kind of getting the same guy.
Yeah.
Not exactly the same guy, but a similar guy. Like Royce Freeman. That's another one we didn't talk about that we could have talked about. To me, he is a better Zeke. He's a big, burly back that's going to get you that 1 yard, that 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, or that 3rd and goal, 4th and goal.
A little bit more quickness too.
Yeah, that's why I say he's a better Zeke. He has a little bit more quickness. I think he got better size. He got more size and he got more power.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I thought he was a better Zeke, but Zeke, and he ain't going nowhere. So that's how that fucking goes. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't never really concern myself with the running backs. I'm not trying to downgrade them that much. I'm just saying, if I have an offensive line that's good, I'm okay with the running backs. Doesn't mean I want shit running. Don't mean you can put my fat ass back there and we'll be okay. That's not going to happen. We would be horrible with me as a running back. I'm just saying you can find quality running backs to run behind a good offense if your offense line is good. That will make you run good enough. Now, if you can find one, if one pops off somewhere and just out of nowhere and just that'd be great. I mean, like Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard was great when he, before he got paid. I mean, I was okay with Tony Pollard. Where we drafted him at, what he gave us and shit. He was great. I enjoyed the time he was here. And I think he'll do fine with Tennessee. I think he'll be good for Tennessee.
I think so too.
He was right on the borderline of what you pay, and so I wasn't upset that they let him walk.
Yeah. All right, Charlie. I don't have anything else. I mean, we pretty much hit it all.
No, like I said, we season expectations. I think I got us 12-5. I think that's what I ended up with. But like I said, 11-6 and 10-7 wouldn't shock me. But anything below 10 it's going to shock me if that'd be pretty disappointing.
Yeah, I just took a quick look at the schedule. If I try 6 losses, that's if I really look at it. The 7th one, we screw one up, but I don't see any way we go below 6 losses.
No, like I said, no, I agree. It just, I mean, I don't know what people are. Like I said, I just think it's the Green Bay loss, man. I think that's a big part of it, and the fact that we didn't do nothing in the offseason. So that means we automatically got worse. I think our depth got worse. So that can, bite you at times.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I don't see how you just think a team that's won 12 games the past 3 years is going to drop off. Somebody say we're going to have 8 wins.
Right.
We're going to drop off 4 wins, still having Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Ferguson, Martin, Smith, Cooks, Parsons, D-Law, upgraded linebacker core. I don't give a fuck what anybody says about linebacker core. I don't have to see him play one down. That linebacker core will be better than our linebacker core has been for the past 2 or 3 years, probably past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I was about to say more like 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
No, been for a while. I mean, so no, I don't see how, as far as Zimmer's defense goes, I wasn't anti-Zimmer when he was here. Oddly, a lot of Cowboy fans were, which is why it's weird when he's back. Everybody's praising him. I'm like, y'all don't remember. I know it was a long time ago, so someone was young, maybe not even born, but fucking, he was not well liked. He was constantly talking about our defensive backs, not turning their head around and not getting interceptions, and so he not everybody was happy with him. I always thought he was good. I didn't, when he left, I wasn't upset. He wasn't one of the ones that. But very few coaches are like that for me. Very few times have we lost a coach and I'm like, oh, fuck, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
There are sometimes Callahan, when we lost him as offensive line coach, I was upset because I thought he was one of the best, if not the best offensive line coach.
Right.
And I thought it would hurt us, and it did for a couple of years. That offensive line wasn't in sync as much as it was when Callahan was here. But for the most part, coaches don't really, defense coordinators or fucking possession coach ain't gonna move the needle for me that much.
Right.
Like Dan Quinn. I love Dan Quinn. I love Dan Quinn's style. I don't mind the style of shooting gaps, getting in the backfield, rushing the passer, and playing the run on your way to the quarterback. I'm all for that style. But losing them and going to the Zimmer style doesn't upset me because, I mean, there's been proof you can win both styles. You know, it's just a matter of your players you have that can play them both styles. You know, I mean, I've seen styles attack like Dan Quinn does and shooting gaps and win Super Bowls. And I've seen styles like, you know, fucking Zimmer where it's a read and react and, you know, be more disciplined. I've seen them win Super Bowls. So you can win with either way. It's just your preference. And my preference is a little bit more Dan Quinn, but I don't mind Zimmer at all. I think he'll be fine. I don't think anything bad's going to happen. But anyways, if I try to make us lose, I had us losing to Cleveland. I did too. I had us losing to San Francisco. I had us splitting with Philadelphia, losing to Philly.
Yep.
I went ahead and had us losing to Baltimore just to, you know, I don't know why I picked that as an L.
I got
and I also had us losing one more fucking road game. I can't remember what it was. I think probably was the division or something. Might have been Atlanta or something. So that was my 5 losses. And like I said, I kind of had to do that to even get to 5. But for me to get 2 more losses, that means I guess I can say we lose to Houston at home because Houston, I think, is going to be a good team.
I said that would be 6 just because that's a big rivalry for them, not for us.
No, trust me, I lived in Houston all my life. Although I live in East Texas now, I grew up and went to school in the Houston area, and that they love beating the Cowboys. That is their Super Bowl every year.
Yeah, I gave us that one for maybe the 6, and then I don't trust the Lions, but they're a good team. That could be 7.
That's how I can get to 7.
That's the only way.
Yeah, I can get to 7 if you tell me that. But I do not see us losing to New Orleans.
No,
I cannot say us losing to Pittsburgh or the New York Giants home away, or even Washington. Even though I think they'll be improved.
Yeah,
I don't see us losing either one of them. But
I don't see us losing to Cincinnati at home either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have to. I think that's how they pick it. I think that's how when they pick us losing that many games. I think they look at Baltimore and they take that as a loss. I think they look at Philly. Some have us losing to Philly twice. And I think they have us losing Houston because Houston has a bunch of hype this year. Losing Cincinnati because they got Burrow.
Right. He probably won't be there by week 14.
Yeah, losing to San Francisco because they got our number, and you know, I agree. They should pick us to lose it. You know, lose to maybe splitting against Washington because some people's on Washington's jock right now. You know, so I mean that's only, but fuck, dude, even then that's only 7 losses.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, what the fuck other losses are they coming up with when you start telling me we're only going to, you know, win 8 and lose 9? I mean, not 9. I can't even find fucking 9.
Maybe Tampa Bay because they were a playoff team last year.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Tampa Bay. I didn't scroll that far down.
But that's a home game.
I guess. You know, I mean, Tampa Bay, and I guess they can in Atlanta because the people. Yeah, but I mean, you're actually just. But you're just being doom and gloom if you do that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like, how the fuck does that even happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't agree, but hey, you never know. Maybe we do. And they can get on here and fucking screenshot us saying this and
go
on Twitter and tell us how dumb we are. Because I can tell you one thing. I got a lot of fucking screenshots on Twitter. I'm going to tell people how fucking stupid they are.
But yeah, if our defensive tackles look average. And our linebackers look average, that changes the whole look of our team.
And I don't even think
good, just average.
I think our linebackers is going to be good. Not great, too. Not like, oh shit, fucking great. I mean, good, just solid. I think they're going to be solid. Solid across the board.
We've gone 12-5 3 years without that.
I mean, they're definitely an upgrade from last year. I mean, there's I don't even know how anybody even questions that. You know, Kendricks is an upgrade. Overshown's an upgrade on anything we had last year. Even coming off injury, he is.
Yeah.
Clark, I think, will be worse. He's going to be as good as he was last year.
What?
You know, maybe he'll get better. Then you have you pronounce his name from Notre Dame.
Leofow.
There you go. So then you have him that he's going to prove. He's your fourth. He's going to prove anything that you had fourth or down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and Bell improves because he gets to move back to safety.
Yeah.
You know, and you could. So yeah, no, man. I think yeah, like I said, I'm not really doom and gloom with this season. Like I said, I'm not picking this. I'm picking us to go to playoffs. Once the playoffs get here, we can talk about that shit then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't even want to discuss the fucking playoffs. I want to enjoy the 17 games. I think we'll do fine, man.
Yeah, we haven't, and I talk about this a lot. We haven't had a true middle linebacker since Sean Lee, and even when Sean Lee was here, he didn't have the type of linebackers to play with that we have right now.
No.
So now you got Eric Kendricks, who's a true middle linebacker, veteran, knows the defense backwards and forwards, and he's got 3 young, fast, athletic, big linebackers who now don't have to think because they have a leader on the field who can put them in the right spot. Because to me, Damone Clark's biggest problem is he's not a middle linebacker and he needs somebody to tell him where to go. And I feel like with Kendricks here now, he has that. And if he doesn't have it, we've got Overshown who can play that spot. And I think he has it.
I know they're fucking fast.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're all like 230.
Yeah.
I know we did the fantasy. We went live. We did a fantasy league, and George T came on and joined us for a few minutes. And he told us that Damone Clark looks like a different player right now. Like he said, Damone Clark looks like he's about 245. He looks like he's probably shed some fat. He says he looks just like how Jalen Smith used to look. He says that's what Damone Clark looks like. And then you add to the fact that he doesn't. He says he looks like he's reacting faster because he doesn't have to process as much. So now you got a bigger guy who doesn't have to process.
Well, that is what Zimmer does do. He does keep it simple. He keeps it simple, and stupid.
Yeah.
You know, you just you basically linebackers read your keys and go to the ball.
Yeah.
Like you got a key. That key tells you do this. Go fucking do it. You know, don't do that. You know, because like I said, when you play in the Dan Quinn system, it's a get out the quarterback, and sometimes you have people freelancing. Like fucking Parsons freelanced a lot last year.
A lot.
And sometimes it fucked us. You know, he dive in, go inside, and the run went outside, and he'd be caved off.
Yeah.
I remember J.J. Watt. I said I lived in Houston. I used to live to 610 up there. And goddamn, my mind just went blank. He was a defensive tackle for the Jaguars and the Texans. He does a show up there on 610. But anyways, he constantly called out J.J. Watt on the radio, saying as great a player he is, that he fucks his teammates a lot. He said, don't get me wrong, he makes a lot of plays. He said, but there's a lot of times that he does not do what he's supposed to do, and it makes everybody else look bad, like that they did something wrong. You know, and that's kind of system that Quinn runs. He kind of, I mean, not Quinn, Zimmer. He's real big on discipline and doing what the fuck you're supposed to do. So that would help. Like I said, I wasn't upset about the Zimmer hire. Like I said, I'm
not either.
I lean towards the Quinn style, but I'm okay with Zim.
Yeah. When we were looking for a defensive coordinator, I pretty much said, I don't care who the guy is. As long as he brings us defensive tackles and real linebackers, I'm happy. Because we have everything else. All we need is somebody who believes in bringing those guys in. And we have enough talent on the edge and at the corner and safety that we'll figure everything out regardless of what the scheme is. And so far, the names look good. So Zimmer's doing his job.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm 100% impressed with the linebackers. You know, I'm excited to watch them play. And like I said, I kind of treat linebackers like they're like the running backs of the offense for me. But it doesn't mean I can't get excited about it. They're still important. You still got to have them. You know, I still want the best ones. And the ones we had last year just wasn't cutting. You know, that wasn't just cutting it for us.
Yeah, I agree.
You know? All right, man. Well, tell everybody where they can follow you out again.
All right. So I'll be back on Twitter next week now that I see how many views Charlie's getting from Twitter. So you can find me Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, everything Bluff City Cowboys. I go live every Wednesday, 8:30 Central Standard Time on the Fifth Quarter Podcast. We're gearing up for our regular season show this Wednesday. Going to give away a lot of prizes. Going to be some good talk. If you have a chance, come check us out.
All right. You can find me everywhere there is below there. Last week, I downloaded my recording to Spotify and realized, holy shit, I hadn't put a fucking video on Spotify since April.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, I've been telling me follow me on Spotify. If you go on Spotify, you ain't gonna find shit. So, but you can. I'm gonna get better at it. It will go. After we do this show, I'll put this one on Spotify, and if I have time, I'm gonna record a DAC video out of this and do that. But you can find me on Spotify at Established Pass, YouTube Established Pass. Hit that sub and that bell. Yes, Eric, I said that, and it does help. Hit that like, leave a comment. Twitter at Dallas Cowboys U1. I'm going to start doing a show every Tuesday is what day I'll end up doing one during the season. Live, maybe sometimes, maybe I won't go live. I don't like going live unless I got a guy with me like Marcus or anybody. That's another thing. Anybody ever wants to come? Not anybody. I always say anybody.
Yeah, you don't want to open it up like that.
Yeah, I ain't open up to everybody, but ones who know me and talk to me, y'all know I like you. Hit me up in my DMs and shit, and I'll give you the link, and you come on and with me every Tuesday and talk. Because I'd rather have somebody here talking to than me. If you do that, I'll go live.
Yeah.
If I only have me, more likely I'll just record. But anyways, that's all the places you can find me. Like I said, there shouldn't be no doom and gloom. We're going to be okay. We're a week and a half away, and I can't fucking wait. Y'all enjoy, and y'all have a good time, man.
All right, see you
Later, dude.